Listen up. This isn't some fast food nonsense. Our kitchen runs full tilt because shortcuts, not our thing. Those jar desserts, made by hand. Our Cayenne Ranch doesn't make itself. Our tenders are real tenderloin. Not like the other guys. Nope. We put the work in early. We brine. We buttermilk. We hand bread. Our cooked-to-order tenderloins rule the roost. It's real. Handmade.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
A strong workout means a strong recovery. And with your Planet Fitness Black Card, you get access to 6 new amenities, like the Red Light Sauna and Polar Dry Plunge, both designed to reduce muscle soreness and relieve tension. Reset, restore, and recover your muscles so you can do it all again tomorrow.
You gotta try this.
Join Planet Fitness today for just $1 down, $24.99 a month.
New Black Card Spa amenities. Even stronger value. Deal ends May 15th.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Big things are happening at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika.
Get massive savings on our entire lineup of GMC Sierra trucks. 1500s, 2500s, every model side by side for comparison. Plus, we always have a fresh selection of late model pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs ready to roll with huge discounts. People from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Check us out 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Big things are happening at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get massive savings on our entire lineup of Chevys, from Silverado trucks, Tahoe, Suburban, and Traverse SUVs. Every model side by side for comparison. Plus, we always have a fresh selection of late model pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs ready to roll with huge discounts. Smart people from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Online 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
congratulations, learning the AHSA, getting that invaluable experience. But it was a win over St. James earlier this year.
Yeah.
Having played the #1 team in the state multiple times, do you feel like you're prepared going into these regionals, man?
It's like, right. It's like I said before. I mean, we've seen it all. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of scheduling the way that we did is to make sure we put them in front of everything, because of moments like this. And they've answered the call. You know what I mean? They've put themselves in position to have a chance. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for, is to have a chance. Yeah, our goal is to win a state championship, but we got to take it one step at a time. And like I said, we're trying to make milestones every day. You know what I mean? And we did that. We crossed the hurdle by making the regional. Then we won an area championship. Now it's figure out a way to get to the state tournament. Because if we can figure out a way to get to the state tournament, you never know where the ball bounces.
Right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
Looking at us like these guys are just mouthing and nothing's coming out. Well, Big Chrissy said, I'm going to play a prank on you right now. It's April Fool's. I'm not going to turn the sound on. We're back here, and I am with the head coach, softball coach of the Glenwood Gators, former baseball player. We're live as the Gators lead 10-3 here, heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Coach McConnell, you won an area championship in the AHSA. What does that mean to you and your program, man?
It's huge. It's huge for our program. It's huge for our school. It was a really weird environment in the sense of we knew we had qualified for a regional the day before, which was a goal.
It didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, we knew we were moving on, but I challenged the girls. I'm like, look, we have a chance to do something we've never done before in the school's history. So let's go out here and play the way we've been playing and take care of our business. And they showed up and did what they do, and we were able to beat Lee Scott, in the championship game.
It's always good to beat Lee Scott.
It is.
I'll smile every time you say we just beat Lee Scott in anything here. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Coach, 26-12. We talked in the coach show on Tuesday, the trials and tribulations of last year. But then when you beat St. James, the #1 team, you play all those tough games, and your girls start realizing, hey, we actually can play right now. We may can win a state championship. How's that confidence come along heading now into the regionals?
It's big because, St. James is in the regional.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we've played them twice, and they're Coach Hall does a great job with them. They're going to be ready to play. They're really good in the circle. But we've seen her. We've seen her twice. We've seen her 3 times in 2 years now. So, and we're more prepared this year than we ever have been. From that standpoint, you still got to go out and play the game.
No doubt.
But, I'm happy where we're at. I think our girls are ready. They wanted to play today, you know what I mean, which is a good thing, you know what I mean. And so I'm happy where we're at. I love my team. I can't ask for anything more.
You look like you're having fun.
I'm having a blast.
And I tell you this, though, I just lost my train of thought. This is going to happen because Chrissy was going to mess me up, man. I got to blame someone, Coach. I'm taking off a whole week.
Yeah.
No one likes doing that in baseball, softball specifically, especially when you're hot. And now you're having a whole week. We talked about it. If it wasn't for rain and weather, you would have probably a week and a half without games. So how do you keep your girls focused heading into next week's regional, knowing you got 8 days off before you play again?
Well, I'll be honest, it's uncharted waters for me, and for all of us.
Right.
But you just got to manage it and keep your process. And I'm a big believer in sometimes less is more. At this point, we've played 38 games. We are what we are, you know what I mean? But you want to stay sharp. You want to make sure you're doing the things from a hitting standpoint and a pitching standpoint to put yourself in the best position. But you also, it's 38 games in, and we're a little banged up and things like that. So we took yesterday off, came in today, and we hit a little bit and did some things. But I'll probably give them the weekend off, and then we'll get back at it on Monday and Tuesday and be ready to go on Wednesday.
The girls know that they've created history. I know we got a bunch of state championships when we were in AISA, but this is uncharted territory, man, as you made mention. The girls kind of grasping that because they're so young. They don't know any better. They're just out there playing.
Well, I think it's a combination of both. Right. I think because I've tried to impress upon them what they're able to do, what they have in front of them. And like I said, we challenge them. You know what I mean? That this is something that this school's never seen, done, or heard of before. And we can sit here and talk about the HSA thing, and it's been a great move for us. But it is new and it is different and it is more challenging. And it's like I told them the other day after we won the area championship, I'm like, y'all understand the magnitude of what you just did. And this is no knock on anybody or anything. It just was the way it was. When I first took over, I could look my girls in the face at the end of the year and say, hey, we're going to be back in the state tournament by default.
Right.
Well, that's not the case anymore. Winning an area championship and you're earning it. I mean, I told them they don't hand these out. No. Like, you got to earn them. And they did that. And so, I mean, it's been really good, and they do understand. But there again, they are young, and they're just playing a game that they enjoy playing.
No doubt about it. We're live here from the Glenwood Gators series as they lead the series 1-0. They're up 10-3 right now in the bottom of the fifth. They're a couple outs away, or 2 innings away from winning and moving on to the state semifinal. Coach, next week you're part of the 4 different regionals with 8 teams in it, a tournament that's not going to have a champion, but it's going to have a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket champion. So the 2 teams will then move on to state. Kind of set the stage. Where is it going to be at? Who are some of the teams you're going to be playing against, and why you want that Glenwood community to come out in full support?
It's going to be big because we're going to have everybody. Like I said, it's new for us. We will be playing at Lagoon Park, which is very familiar to us. And it's an 8-team tournament, and it's us and Lee Scott, St. James, Trinity, Childersburg, and Thorsby, and then Hale County and Greensboro. So, I mean, it's good teams. It's going to be a fight, but I don't want any other team. I want mine, you know what I mean, to go into it. So we're pleased where we're at, but we're not satisfied.
Next Wednesday and Thursday at Lagoon and Park in Montgomery. Go out and cheer on those Gators. What time do y'all play on Wednesday?
Wednesday we start things off. We play at 10 o'clock against Greensboro on Field 6.
What happens?
If we're able to win that, we'll play at 1:45, the winner of St. James and Thorsby. And then if we lose, we'll play at like 11:45. We'll play immediately following, and we'll play a loser of a different game.
Right. Well, we hope you do a good job, Coach. We'll be cheering you on, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
You make us proud, and you made the Glenwood family proud. And finally, that G on your chest. This is a place that you called home for a long time. And now you're doing something special with the softball program. You're seeing baseball doing its thing. What does it mean to see your school finally getting that state recognition it deserves?
For me, it's something when I was in high school that you could dream of.
Right. You would have loved this.
I would have loved the opportunity to be out here and do the things that they're doing. But as an adult, you look back, and I mean, I'm 21 years into this place. But this is my life. Like, I'm Glenwood through and through. There's no question about it. Anybody that asks me, anybody that knows me will tell you that. But being able to, which is weird, because being able to play baseball here and then play baseball in college, but then come back and take the softball job, and with all the transitions, it's very satisfying in the sense of this is what I call home. But like I said, man, it's not about me. I'm blessed to be able to do it, and I got the best group in the state to do it with. So I'm just blessed way beyond what I deserve, and thankful for every day that I get to come here.
Well, congratulations on the area championship.
I appreciate it.
We're cheering on you next week. We'll be talking to him next week on the Glenwood Coach Show right ahead of that Wednesday game. Coach, thank you so much. We'll take a break. When we come back from break, I interviewed Lee Snow earlier today, part of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Be right back after this.
A strong workout means a strong recovery. And with your Planet Fitness Black Card, you get access to 6 new amenities, like the Red Light Sauna and Polar Dry Plunge, both designed to reduce muscle soreness and relieve tension. Reset, restore, and recover your muscles so you can do it all again tomorrow.
You gotta try this.
Join Planet for $4.99 a month.
New Black Card Spa amenities. Even stronger value. Deal ends May 15th.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia-Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible to be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. That's Amateur Hour. Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. And I told you I got some special guests, and I'm able to get one of the hottest social media guys around, one of the biggest content creators we have in our area, a huge supporter of Columbus Lions, and he's my good friend. We're going to go ahead and bring him on. Lee Snow. Lee, how are you doing, man?
What's up, buddy? I'm alive.
That's all that matters. Right. Take it a one day at a time, baby. But Lee, everyone, I think most people in this area know who you are, and if they don't know, they're about to. Let's talk about.
It's okay if they don't, I promise.
Well, what we like doing here, we like you telling your story. So, Lee, where are you from? What brought you here? How did you get the big following you got on TikTok and Facebook? We'll talk about that idea in a moment. But first, who is Lee Snow?
I'm a preacher. I preach for the Warm Springs Road Church of Christ. Grew up in North Alabama and jumped around a little bit after graduating high school, college at Jacksonville State, and then preacher training in Memphis. And then we lived in Macon for a minute, and now we're here. So we've been here since 2015. So,
Lee, once you got here, where did the idea of you wanting to be in social media? What was the idea?
Well.
How did you know that was your calling? I get the preaching part of it, but I feel like your bread and butter, Lee, that's paying the bills is social media. So what got you involved in graphics and doing all that stuff?
Yeah, so I started doing socials and graphic design back like probably 2010-ish because I was training to become a preacher, and most churches don't have any kind of graphic design or social media or any kind of marketing type thing. So I started learning and doing a little bit here and there. And then when we moved here 11 years ago is when I really kind of made it into a side gig. And then I don't know if you heard about this, but a few years ago, there was this thing where it made everybody stay inside their house for 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
And that 2 weeks turned into 2 years.
Right.
So during COVID, I just started making videos because I was bored and I was stressed out. And it was kind of an outlet for me, and it blew up. And so then 6 years later, in fact, I don't know when this is going to go live, but today is May 7th. 2 days ago, May 5th, 2020 was the first TikTok video I uploaded. So 6 years and 2 days I've been making fart jokes on the internet to the glory of God.
2 million viewers and 2 million followers later too, by the way.
It's 1.9. Don't exaggerate. But.
Yeah, and it's 300,000 on Facebook. And every time I go back to your page, it seems like you gained another 5,000 more, man. But
yeah, Facebook is doing well for me the last
no
few
doubt.
months. So.
And I the content part of it, it's just fun. And I feel like you're trying to reach an audience that honestly desperate for some love, man. And I feel like that niche that you got right now has really worked out for you. Did you know that you were going to blow up the way you have, man?
No, not really. So I started making TikToks, and I think it was like September of 2020 is when I hit 100K. And then it just slowly started growing. I hit some big like leaps. You know, I remember like going to sleep one night and waking up the next day, and I had added like 60,000 followers overnight. And then it's really only been in the last like year that Facebook and Instagram has started growing. So yeah, so now I'm at like 100 on Instagram, 300 on Facebook, and 1.9 on TikTok. So
for those out there that are trying to be content creators, man, and it's tough. It is a tough business. Everybody thinks they can do it, Lee, until they realize you got to put out a lot every day.
People, yeah, it's a lot more
what's
work
your advice?
Than people realize. Just keep posting. Try to find what you're good at and what people like, and learn the algorithms, learn, how to do that. But mainly just keep plugging at it, and don't be scared to stretch yourself outside of what you think your niche is. And then that way you'll find it. And there's people out there that will follow everybody, it's just a matter of finding the right people and finding your people kind of thing.
You're also putting a positive message out there, man. And I remember you've been a part of the Lions organization for the last several years. I know you came back this year, and it's a whole different organization, and you've done a great job with their social media.
Into the
they
grind,
pulled me back in. You're all Al Pacino, Lee. But the Columbus Lions, you were general manager for a bit. You got overwhelmed because you were general manager, social media, putting out logistics. You were 900 jobs. You were civic center liaison, and you got burnt out. But
it was a lot. I was very burnt out at the end of 24.
And Roger and Corey came calling, and this is a different organization. What do you see from the Lions so far that has really been impressing you?
And like I don't want to. I think we did amazing things in 23 and 24.
You did, with the circumstances, no doubt.
Yeah, having Coach Gibson leave after what is that, 16, 17 years, something like that. Or 16 seasons, and just trying new ownership, new everything, new staff. Our first game in 23. I think there might have been like 2 people that had ever run a Lions game on our staff before. So it was a disaster for a little bit, but we figured it out as best we could. And I'm super proud of my staff back then. They did awesome. It was just, at the end of 24, I had some life changes that had happened and stuff like that. And I was burnt out on basically everything. So I figured the Lions is probably the thing that needs to go so I can be, healthy and whatnot. So I quit, and then, I think I like to say I retired because that sounds better. But
it does.
I retired from general manager, and honestly, I'd retired. I'd kind of figured, I'm just going to step away from the Lions, just be a fan. And then last season, I ran socials for a little bit, and didn't work out. And so then this year, they asked me to come back, and I told them if it's different and it's not too much on me, because I'm still trying to be protective of my time and whatnot, and it is completely different, dude. The energy, the camaraderie, The game experience, like these guys are blowing it out of the water. They're making me work though, because there's new announcements every day that I got to figure out how to get out on socials for new activations and halftime shows and all sorts of stuff. But the fan experience, I feel like, is the best. I know the best that I've ever seen, but honestly, and this is not because, they're paying my invoices, but I really do think it's the best fan experience in the city, or in the area, to be honest. It's a party, it's fun, it's lighthearted, every game, and there's tons of fun games and mini games and things during the games, and then the halftime shows have just been insane. And then I have a feeling the May 17th halftime show is gonna blow the ceiling off that Civic Center. So I'm excited to see it.
Faith and Family Night. That's May 17th, as what Lee Snow was talking about. I'm talking to social media expert, analyst. I don't care what you say. He is killing it right now in the business, man, and someone I've looked up to for a long time. Lee, I told you about my idea. It's funny you say 2023. That's when Georgia Alabama Sports Live was birthed. And we've kind of talked, and you've kind of given me some advice along the way. And you knew there was a niche for high school sports, not just in this area, but for areas around. And we're hoping that we can eventually expand it. But I appreciate you believing in what we're doing here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live from the very beginning. And obviously, we've kind of taken off ever since, man. So I always give you kudos for believing in what we're doing.
Y'all are killing it. And just the simple fact of bringing the local high schools up to the current age where they are live streamed with good quality and good production.
Right.
I think I have a feeling, I'm not in that world, but I have a feeling that's a big thing for a lot of these kids and a lot of their families being able to watch, even if they have families on the other side of the globe,
Right. No doubt. All right, let's talk about what's right behind to your left of your head, which is Creative South Foundation. Yeah, that logo. What is that? And for local businesses out there that are trying to enhance their social media, and really, it's the easiest form of advertising with social media outlets like us, or doing it yourself. If you do it right, Lee, you can be successful, but they need someone like you to give them advice. What is Creative South? Talk about that endeavor that you got going on.
Creative South is actually a graphic designers or a creatives conference every year here in Columbus. It is one of the best in the nation. We have, I think it's like 700, 800 people every April come. We do it at the Trade Center. We have some of the best graphic designers and artists in the world come and speak. And the Creative South Foundation is the nonprofit wing of Creative South. It basically provides tickets to young people that are trying to get started in the industry to Creative South. And then we always do like scholarships and things like that, and gifts and whatnot. But then this is the Creative South Foundation office, technically. But the four of us that are in this studio, we each have our own little niches. And I mainly do socials. One of us mainly does branding and design. One of us does web development and a lot of AI work. And then one of us does like out of home, like billboards and things like that. So the four of us kind of partner and play around together, and we'll pass clients to one another if they need something. And so we kind of have a little bit of everything in here, but it's also the Creative South Foundation office where we make sure that the foundation is running well. And Mike plans a lot of the Creative South event things in here, and we have the ability to bring people in and talk with them about Creative South and the foundation and our freelance work as well.
Lee, if they want to get in touch with you, there's a local business out there, church, a business, a team, whatever it may be, and they see and like your work. How do they go about getting in contact with you, get a chance to get in front of you and ask some questions?
So I am the exact same username on every single platform. Lee M. Snow.
Can't miss it.
Email at gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think I even have a Snapchat, but I don't ever log in. I don't even think I have the app on my phone anymore. But anytime something pops up, I get on there and grab Lee M. Snow so that nobody can steal my username. So yeah, just get in touch with me, socials, or if you want to email me and whatnot, I'd be glad to talk with you.
Lee, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
No problem,
Thank you
dude.
for what
Hey,
you do.
I got one thing though.
Let me hear it.
Because like I told you, they're always coming up with new stuff, and I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't say something.
Let me hear it.
May 17th for the Faith and Family Night.
Okay.
Leandria Johnson is doing the halftime show. They're doing this thing called the Largest Church Challenge. Okay. The church that brings the most people to the 4:00 kickoff. So you can go to church and then you can come to the Lions game. The church that brings the most people to the Columbus Lions game on May 17th, kickoff at 4 p.m. First place gets $1,000 and a trophy and on-field recognition. Second place gets $500 and third place gets $250. So your church can get a nice little donation care of the Columbus Lions if you bring your folks out to the game. And that literally, Corey just texted me this, and I was like, all right, we'll get it out, but y'all are the first people to hear it. So
appreciate it, Lee. You heard it. Faith and Family Day, May 17th. You need to be there, 4:00. Leandria Johnson going to be singing. Lee Snow's going to be dancing. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun.
I'm not dancing. I might be a TikToker, but I don't do dances, bro.
You'll do fart jokes or shoot things, but you ain't going to be do no dancing. You ain't going to be Michael Jackson, are you?
You don't want to see this much man dancing. That's all I'm saying.
Lee, thank you so much, man. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Absolutely, dude. Thanks for having me.
That's Lee Snow. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know who Lee Snow is, you will. He is killing it in the social media game. And there's a lot of content creators out there. There's a lot of guys that are women that are trying to grow their brand. I'm telling you right now, I don't recommend anyone about getting advice other than Lee Snow. He is doing it the perfect way, and there's a reason why he's got so many followers and why a lot of business are going after him. And I appreciate him being a friend of ours and an advocate of ours. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got more here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show.
Listen up. This isn't some fast food nonsense. Our kitchen runs full tilt because shortcuts, not our thing. Those jar desserts, made by hand. Our Cayenne Ranch doesn't make itself. Our tenders are real tenderloin. Not like the other guys. Nope. We put the work in early. We brine. We buttermilk. We hand bread. Our cooked to order tenderloins rule the roost. It's real. Handmade.
And once again, welcome to our soccer segment on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. And back, and once again, is our soccer expert, Tyler Dykes. Tyler, I've just been blown away by some of the games that we have had the last couple of weeks. You and Matt Milton were on the call for that Brookstone-Pacelli soccer matches. Outstanding. I know with baseball and soccer playoffs going on, I know we've been doing some double duty, but how have you been? I know it's been a while since we've done a show together.
Yeah, well, I've been doing great. It has been a while, but I'm excited to be back talking about soccer here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live as the GHSA and GIAA are hitting their playoffs. We got an exciting GHSA match to talk about on the boys' side that happened last night. But, yeah, I'm excited to be talking back with it. GIAA I need to mention them. They're about to kick off their playoffs for soccer, so I'm really looking forward to showing you what our rankings are going into these final few days of soccer here in the Columbus area.
Yeah, and I cannot wait to reveal these rankings. Both brackets are underway in the GHSA and the GIAA over in Alabama. We've got the AHSAA, but I'm ready to dive into these brackets. Tyler, let's go ahead and start off with the girls. Coming in at number 10, Spencer, 4-5 record. They made the playoffs. They did lose to Columbus in the first round. Jordan at number 9, they lost in the first round. Glenwood loses in the first round. I made a little change because I had to go back in the schedule. Glenwood beat Jordan. We value head-to-head on these rankings. That's why I bumped up Glenwood at number 8. Shaw actually got to the second round of the playoffs. They beat Farrell in the first round. What's your thoughts 7 through 10?
Yeah, 7 through 10. Again, all playoff teams, as you mentioned, Glenwood, Jordan, Spencer, coming into the playoffs. They all had first-round losses, but Glenwood at 8, Jordan at 9 for the head-to-head matchup. I think that's a good ranking. Spencer, again, great season for them. One of the schools that you wouldn't consider a soccer school here in the region, but having them in our rankings is great to see. And then, as you mentioned, Shaw making it to the second round, 8-12 overall. Great seasons overall. Of course, you want to get as far as you can in your season and in your playoffs, but congratulations for all those teams for making it into their respective playoffs in their divisions and states.
Yeah, and one thing we do value is path to your respective state championship. The next teams, 4, 5, and 6, they all made the playoffs, but they all lost in the first round. We're going to start with number 6, Northside. They end up losing in the first round. Harris County, they lost in the first round. Smith Station lost in the first round. Still incredible seasons, but I do think because their season is over, the teams that are still alive are deserving to jump them in the rankings. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. Just given that how far they've gotten, and I will say for Northside, Harris County, and Smith Station, Harris County had a great start to the season for the girls' side as well. Had a little bit of struggle there with Stars Mill. We did that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but they had a great season. Number 6 at Northside, another great season for them. As you mentioned, first round exits for all these teams. And Smith Station, 16-8-2. I saw them in person a couple of times, broadcasting the game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Cicerello had a great season for Smith Station, and I think all these teams, 4 through 6, did a great job in their playoffs. But as you mentioned, the top 3 are still alive. Of course, Pacelli and Brookstone haven't played their first round yet. I believe we're actually covering. Me and Matt Melton will be there on Friday for Brookstone's GIAA playoff game, but we'll get into them in a second. But great job by Smith Station, Harris County, Northside, and their schools, and bringing up 4, 5, and 6 in this latest power rankings.
Yeah, and coming in at number 3, the Columbus Lady Blue Devils got a huge win in the quarters against Pierce County. They move on to the semifinals, where tomorrow they will travel to Zebulon to take on the number 1 overall seed, Pike County. I think that it was deserving for them to move up in our rankings. And then Brookstone, like you mentioned, you and Matt Melton will be on the call this Friday. Brookstone comes in as the number 6 seed. They are taking on Bethlehem Christian. If they win that game, they will be traveling to the Kings Academy next week. Brookstone, who just came up short in an incredible region with Pacelli. They were the runners-up last year. And then how about those Pacelli Lady Vikings? They end up having a 4 seed. I know that they played a tough schedule, but it was a tough GIAA this year. They will host next week. We will have that game for you on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. They're going to host the winner of George Walton Tatnall Square. Your thoughts on the top 3 teams in the girls' rankings?
Yeah, Columbus doing a great job there. Got to go play the number 1 in the GIAA for their division, Columbus. They're doing a great job again, 13-5. So they got great job moving on to the next round again. If they win this matchup they got coming up, you would hope that they make a great run further on in the GHSA. Excuse me. And the Pacelli versus Brookstone, I know we mentioned a couple times. Matt Melton, myself were there last week to cover that game. What something I saw interesting from Brookstone is in the first few minutes before they allowed Pacelli their first goal, they were playing 10 in the box. Like there were 10 players. Basically, every outfielder that they had was in a 10, 15-yard area of the pitch right in front of goal. their defense did a great job despite letting in a few goals from Pacelli. But again, that has been the GIAA state finals the last couple of years has been Pacelli and Brookstone. They've got a chance to make it 3-for-3. They've even that series you would call in the baseball 1-1. So we'll see how they go in the GIAA again. Matt Melton and myself will be in Brookstone on Friday to cover Brookstone's first round matchup. So we're excited for that. And just I know we'll probably have maybe one or two more power rankings as we wrap up the season for soccer. We just want to say congratulations to all the teams in the area for how they performed the season. Every single team in our top 10 made it to the playoffs, which is an amazing thing to have in your region with Columbus. So it is great to see soccer growing in Columbus, and it was a great season by all these 10 teams. Some have 4 through 10 have ended, unfortunately, but Columbus, Brookstone, and Pacelli are still live. We can't wait to tell you what the results are here soon on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Yeah, cannot wait. And I know that they're on the opposite sides of the bracket, so if they do end up facing off, it's going to be in the championship on May the 26th down at Stratford Academy. All right, Tyler, let's go ahead and look at the boys. Coming in at number 10, the Glenwood Gators. They did lose in the first round of the playoffs. Harris County, they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Northside lost in the first round of the playoffs. How about the Spencer Green Wave? They get the huge upset win over Butler, and they make it to the second round of the playoffs. They come in at number 7. Your thoughts on 7 through 10 for the boys' rankings?
Yeah, 7 through 10. Again, Spencer with an over 500 record, and I've said it all this season. But Spencer not really seen as a soccer school in our area, but to see them 6-4 overall is great to see. And the north side, Harris County and Glenwood, again, congratulations to them for all making their playoffs in their respective divisions. But I think the biggest thing with them, they got off to slow starts, all those teams. But as we saw throughout the season, we saw Northside and Harris County. I was there at Terry Gainesfield, I believe it was, for those two teams playing, just seeing how great the defense was in that game. As the season progressed, the teams got better, and hopefully where they're at now is going to be a great stepping stone for next season as they continue their play into next year. So all those 7 through 10, fantastic jobs on their seasons.
Coming in at number 6, and we do reward records and how you played, but unfortunately – Smith Station in a very tough region. Auburn ended up getting the 1 seed. They had the tiebreaker with Opelika. Both were 3-3 on the season. Opelika got the tiebreaker because of goal differential. So unfortunately, Smith Station missed out on the playoffs. So they're right there at number 6. And then I can't say nothing about the top 5 teams have been interchangeable all year. But Jordan's season comes to an end. Obviously, a historic game we had on Georgia Alabama Sports Live yesterday. And then at number 4, I'll get to the top 3 in just a second. At number 4, Calvary, it bumps down to number 4. They're still going to be a very tough team, especially as they are hosting a home playoff game in the first round. There could be a possibility for that rematch between Calvary and Pacelli, which anything can happen because both games ended in penalty kicks. So it could go either way. But your thoughts on 4 through 6?
Yeah, 4 through 6, great job. Again, we'll talk about more about the Columbus-Jordan semifinal or quarterfinal matchup, in just a second when we talk about Columbus. But one of the big things I kept harping on in all of these power rankings is that goal differential. You would hear me talk about, a team may have scored 86 goals and allowed 10. Well, that's important to see just how how efficient the teams are on whatever side of the ball, but it also, in this instance, in the tiebreaker, all that matters is what is your goal differential. So have you scored 4 more goals than allowed, 6 more goals than allowed, 8 more goals than allowed? And here in that Smith Station, that's how they actually did not make the playoffs. That is a tough thing to know because that means if you score, you go back and think about all the goals that you could have scored or all the goals that you let in that maybe could have not let in if circumstances were different. But again, 18-9-1 record for them. Jordan at number 5. Fantastic job. They are quarterfinalists in the GHSA this year, so that's fantastic to see from them. They have a lot to build on. 15-4-1, and as you mentioned, Calvary 10-5 at number 4. Just their heads-to-heads between the two GIAA schools above them is what's bringing them down our rankings a little bit. But they have had a fantastic season. They'll be moving on into the playoffs as well. So looking forward to seeing how those schools do in their respective playoffs for the rest of the season.
All right, Tyler, coming in at number 3. Brookstone, 12-2-1. They finally did it. They got the win over Pacelli at Diamond Field. You and Matt Milton were there. Oh, what an incredible game. But Pacelli is the number 1 team in the GIAA. But Brookstone is the number 2 team in the GIAA. If chalk holds, we could end up having a Brookstone-Pacelli matchup at Stratford on May the 27th. Brookstone's going to await the winner of Stratford-George Walton. They are the 2 seed. Get this, Tyler. Next week, we could be live streaming 3 soccer matches for the boys on that Saturday. And then Pacelli coming in as the number 1 seed in the GIAA. We got them at number 2, and we'll talk a little bit about why they're number 2 and not number 1. But Pacelli, Brookstone. Brookstone's the most improved soccer team so far. They only won 4 games last year. Coach Elton Siraj has done a fantastic job. He's got 3 boys that play on the Brookstone team. And E.J. Siraj, that is a player. We talked about him on this show. One of the most electric and dynamic players we've seen in a long time in this area. I think Pacelli, Brookstone, just the way they face off against each other, that it's interchangeable. And it's fitting that they're the top 2 seeds in the GIAA playoffs.
Yeah, and for me, being a Glenwood graduate, when I was at that matchup, it reminded me of Glenwood and Lee Scott. You know, two local rivals going against each other with a lot on the line, and that's exactly what we saw between Pacelli and Brookstone. Again, you mentioned the Sirajas; they do a fantastic job. EJ, especially, has done a fantastic job, not only scoring but also facilitating goals and showing his pace on the pitch. He's done a fantastic job. Pacelli, number 2 at 9-4-1, they're going to be great. That was, again, a great matchup that we saw for the boys. Pacelli held their own, but then Brookstone opened the floodgates with a couple of goals. And seeing them, Pacelli 9-4-1, Brookstone 12-2-1, respectively, they did a fantastic job. But, of course, we've got to talk about number 1 in our power rankings now.
All right, well, that number 1 team, they have been the number 1 team overall in the GHSA 2A playoffs, the Columbus Blue Devils. I mean, they went through and just completely destroyed Farrell in the first round. They did go and beat Murray County 4-0, and then the game that was an all-timer last night at Otis Spencer Stadium. Jordan had a 2-1 lead. Columbus, the second overtime. I seriously thought this was going to go to penalty kicks. In fact, I predicted it was going to be 1-1, and it would have to go to penalty kicks. Columbus gets the go-ahead goal. They will host this Friday against Savannah Arts for the right to go to the state championship on May the 13th. They have a chance to go 2 out of the last 3 years as state champions. And I do believe that Columbus, being the number 1 overall seed, they have got the shot to make it to the state championship and win it. And that is why we have them at number 1. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially with how they play. They've done a fantastic job, 16-3. And as you mentioned, coming down from 2-1 last night to win in the second period of extra time. Like you said, if they didn't score, that would be going to penalties, and your score might have been correct there, but Columbus were able to pull it out. They, like you said, they have one more. They have the Final 4 to go to semifinals before they do the final next week. Columbus has it all to play for. They have the momentum on their side. They are running. It looks strong, and they have a very good chance to make it on the 13th. But again, got to give our props to Jordan for finishing 15-4-1, making it to the quarterfinals. And I believe that matchup was at Otis Spencer with Austin Allen on the call.
Yes.
Fantastic game last night. Like you said, down 2-1, able to tie it up, and then in extra time, grab the game-winning goal in the last few minutes to win the match outright, not go to penalties, because that would have been a toss-up at that point, who would have won that penalty shootout. But great job by the Blue Devils, and they're moving on, as you mentioned, to the Final Four. So we're really excited to see if they can go forward, and hopefully we might have a state champion in our coverage area as Columbus moves on.
And here's a crazy idea. I know we're not going to be live streaming these games because we do have to pay a fee to the GHSA. Columbus girls have to play Pike County. It's an hour away. I seriously, strongly considering maybe going and just covering it, possibly getting an interview with the coach. But Friday, Otis Spencer Stadium, you need to be there. Columbus boys are hosting Savannah Arts, and Tyler, I'm gonna challenge everybody to pack Otis Spencer Stadium.
Yeah.
But man, how cool would it be if we had our ultimate soccer show with you, me, Matt Melton, and Austin Allen? And that would just be incredible. But I think that's also a game that's definitely worth covering, even though we're not going to be able to live stream it. But, just to go down there and support the Columbus Blue Devils just because they earned it. If they're the number one overall seed, they're going to be at Otis Spencer all the way up until the championship.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. Again, pack out Otis Spencer Stadium for the Blue Devils. It'll be great to see the people there. From what I saw last night on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live coverage, there were a lot of people packing out that stadium last night for Columbus versus Jordan.
Yes.
Hopefully the Blue Devils, you'll pack it out again and in support of not only your school, but also the sport as well as it's growing here in Columbus. So, and the surrounding area. So it's exciting to see that soccer is seemingly finding its foothold at the high school level here. It's exciting to see. Go pack out Otis Spencer, and we wish not only the Columbus Blue Devils, but every team on the boys and girls side the best of luck as they continue in their playoffs throughout the rest of the month.
And I do want to say, I know that Columbus girls are playing the number one overall seed, Pike County. It's an hour away. Come out and support them. Come to Zebulon and pack that stadium with Columbus fans because they definitely need our support as well.
Yes, 100%. And all these schools that are in their playoffs right now, go out and support your local high schools and the students on those teams as well.
Tyler, I cannot wait till next week when we break down the brackets for the second round in the GIAA, because we're going to have 3 teams that are going to be hosting home playoff games on the boys' side. We'll have the Pacelli girls. They're going to be hosting. Good luck to the Brookstone girls. Hopefully they can get a win, and they'll be on the road against the Keens Academy. But we wish all the teams that are still alive in the soccer playoffs for both the girls and the boys the best of luck as we wrap up this soccer season.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Good luck to all those teams, and stay tuned to Georgia Alabama Sports Live for more soccer content throughout the rest of the year.
All right, that's going to do it for this portion of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. We thank you for listening, and we will see you next week. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.
Big things are happening at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika.
Get massive savings on our entire lineup of GMC Sierra trucks. 1500s, 2500s, every model side by side for comparison. Plus, we always have a fresh selection of late model pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs ready to roll with huge discounts. People from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Check us out 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
Welcome back, everyone, live from the Swamp, Tim Fanning Field, Bill Bowers Park, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Glenwood Gators are 3 outs away from moving on to the state semifinals to play Lee Scott next week. They lead 13-6. Just scored 3 more runs there
as we will have a post-game interview with Coach Fanning on our Instagram and Facebook page. You can go watch it there. We're going to end this stream as we had a lot of fun. Thank you again to Josh McConnell, Lee Snow, and our guy Richard and Tyler Dykes. We have Mike Peacock and Richard Holger on the call right now as the Gators are, again, 3 outs away from making the state semifinals. Tomorrow, we got Calvary hosting a playoff series against Bullock. That's at 5:30. We got Brookstone Girls hosting a playoff game. That starts at 6. You can watch both those on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and then we'll have a show on Sunday night, Mother's Day. Maybe. If not, we'll be doing it Monday night. Chris is looking at me like, you crazy? We're working on Mother's Day. What? Thank y'all so much for watching. We're presented by Hostillo Law. Thank you to Mike Hostillo, Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Coca-Cola, and Houston Clinic. We'll see you next time on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. And don't forget to go to our social media. We'll have an interview with Coach Fanning, who is, again, 3 outs away from making it to the state semifinals here in the AHSAA. See you next time, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back, everyone. I forgot we got to do the Hula Hands highlight of the week. So as Chris is about to, he has it up and he's about to have it ready. Without further ado, we have our winner that just got nominated. Chris, who won the Hula Hands highlight of the week this week?
The 1-2 pitch down the right field line. That ball is out of here. Unbelievable. Wrapped it around the short porch foul pole in right field. And a 3-run homer for Thomas Williams.
Nice job by Thomas Williams. Great home run. Unfortunately, Columbus High ended up losing that series, but remember, you can vote every week for Hula Hands Highlight of the Week nominees on our Instagram page and Facebook. Deacon, come over here, man. Deacon Henderson's got one more thing to say before we get out of here.
Go Gators.
Go Gators. They are now 2 outs away from the state semifinals. We'll see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Hold up. Not moving. He's got to get me up.